Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. So I have a short video for you today, but there are two major UFO news topics that I want to talk about today, both of equal importance and excitement. The first being the official release out now on all major streaming platforms of a film you saw the trailer to in my last video, a film that I was so proud to be invited to be a part of for the first time ever, a film that was 2 years in the making, and that may help finally answer questions about one of the single most globally cited and reported on UFOs ever. I'm talking about the silent black triangle-shaped craft, or UFO, or as it's known more by its code name, the TR-3B. And so, that film is out now for you guys to watch and hopefully enjoy, just as many others have that have emailed me and who watched it early on pre-order. But before we go forward, I want to start off with a short sneak peek from the film where I got to have a little part to discuss this mysterious craft. Here we have what the viewer called a stingray-like triangle object that was captured in the skies over England on August 16th, 2021. In 2004, the United States Navy applied for a patent to produce a triangular craft that looks a lot like the TR-3B, and its propulsion system could be something completely different than what the original TR-3B supposedly operated on.
To me, the most fascinating vehicle from the Aurora program has been the TR-3B. It's a triangular-shaped vehicle that uses a circular accelerator, as you imagine a circle within a triangle, that rotates a mercury-based plasma at 60,000 revolutions per minute, pressurized at 250,000 atmospheres, and supercooled to 150 degrees Kelvin. I absolutely believe that all the triangular-shaped vehicles that have been spotted belong to the U.S. government.
Alright, so we know that the government had patents for the creation of this craft, and we know that there is evidence of it containing off-world alien technology that allows it to harness anti-gravity to move and maneuver. And you know what? What the hell? Here is another explosive sneak peek for you.
The person who founded and created the Lockheed Skunk Works was Kelly Johnson. His right-hand man was Ben R. Rich. Ben was an aeronautical engineer. He was a thermodynamist. I met him at a conference, and we just started up a conversation, and it grew to the point over 25 years that we spoke approximately once a quarter. If I didn't call him, he called me. Now, John Andrews, in June of '86, John Andrews was with Tester Corporation. They make model airplanes and cars and stuff. And he was a pen pal with Ben. Ben adored John Andrews, and he adored me because we had a passion for what he had a passion for. And John wrote a letter to Ben Rich, and he said, Ben, I have asked you a question. Do you believe in UFOs? Now, there are two categories, both man-made and extraterrestrial. And Ben came back on his own letterhead as president of the Lockheed Skunk Works. He said, both Kelly and I are firm believers in both categories. We refer to ours as unfunded opportunities, and he underlines the U, the F, and the O. He said, but beware, there are people who will lead you astray and possibly do you harm. Ben told us that we refer to ours as unfunded opportunities. If you didn't fund it, if you didn't have to pay for it, if it was given to you or it crashed and you recovered it, that's an unfunded opportunity. And in 1996, it was a graduate student gathering or convention of aeronautical engineers from UCLA. Ben Rich told this audience, we have the ability to take ET home, but the government won't declassify the information.
Okay, so the man you just saw talking is a guy who goes by the name of Jim Goodall, who is a well-known and respected insider of black-budget military aircraft construction and an aviation historian that focuses on spooky airplanes and aircraft that the powers that be may not want you to know about. And I wanted to share that clip from the film because of the explosive memo and response that Mr. Goodall received back regarding the existence of UFOs, or as he carefully codenamed it in the letter response, unfunded opportunities, or UFOs, then underlining the letters UFO, thus admitting in a very careful way that these things are real. I love that, unfunded opportunities, UFO. And the fact that the letter was straight from Ben Rich, who is the president of Lockheed Skunk Works, which is the official pseudonym for Lockheed Martin's Advanced Development Programs. Lockheed Martin, of course, being the largest company for doing research, design, development, and the manufacturing of advanced aeronautic aircraft technology systems. So these are big-time people admitting that these things are real, and just a couple of little gems from this awesome film. So those were just 2 peeks of a very interesting film that I got to be a part of, and that I only myself just got to actually watch the finished product when it was finally done and edited. And so it's very special to me, and that's why I hope that all of you who have been with me with the Insomnia Army over these years, where I have put out thousands and thousands of videos here on YouTube, will head over, watch the film, support the cause, and the 2-year effort that it took to get the film done. It's available everywhere, which you can find from the single Genius link in the video description, which gives you all of the platforms that it's available on. But I also placed the 2 Amazon links to the film, which is the platform that most people use these days. And the great thing is that you can watch this film on Amazon in HD or 4K UHD for the same low price. And even though the film literally just went live today for purchase, there were actually a couple of reviews already left by people that pre-ordered the film a couple of days ago, and I just want to lastly read one from a verified purchase of the film who described it better than I even probably could, and that I thought was very thoughtful. So on Amazon, Mark Austin wrote, quote, "After a tasty breakfast, Tyler and his team provide the uninitiated." The tasty breakfast part you'll understand if you watch the film, but he says, Tyler and his team provide the uninitiated with a baseline for how secret aircraft are developed. Then they present sufficient photographic and documentary evidence for an individual to advance from having no knowledge of the TR-3B or any other secret program to possessing a reasonable basis to believe that such programs exist and that the TR-3B is both real and probably one of them. Apparently, chevrons are a major thing, but we aren't sure why. However, there are plenty of technical terms and names to provide many jumping-off points for an individual to embark on their own study. There was original commentary from surprisingly big-name guests, plus interesting technical analysis. Some of this may be old hat to very experienced UFO researchers, but I believe everybody can learn something. I did. This is a great documentary to send to a friend who needs some edumacation. Great job. And 3 people found that helpful. So, to Mark Austin, I want to thank you for posting that thoughtful review, taking the time to post a review, period, good or bad. And if you're watching this right now, Mark, post a comment in this video so that I can just thank you again for writing a kind review that sums the film up. And many people don't know this, but reviews and ratings on streaming platforms are very important because just like YouTube, Amazon's algorithm will boost the film on its reviews and feedback. And there's also a link to the film's IMDb page down below, which these streaming platforms also heavily draw their rating data from. But in the end, guys, I wanted to show you some clips from the film. I hope you enjoy it. Big thanks to the editors that contributed, the directors, the experts who joined for the film, and as I said, this was special to me. It's the first time I got to be a part of a documentary that was years in the making, so it would mean the world if you would all check it out and support the efforts of those who simply want to help get the truth out, just like we always have. So, Secret Space UFOs, Rise of the TR-3B. The film is out. Enjoy it with your friends and family. Thank you all again for your kindness. It was an amazing experience. So, head over and check those links out. Now, the second big piece of UFO news today, and it's actually major because it's a news story that may help us in a different way to study and learn more about UFOs and the truth to the phenomenon. Big news here being reported by the mainstream all over after the UFO transparency legislation that was placed in the 2022 National Defense Authorization Act has passed. It was first reported by USA Today here. Congress okays $770 billion defense spending bill. And it goes on to tell you a ton of stuff of what's in it. But the interesting part, towards the middle of the article, one of the things inside the bill that was passed called requires action on UFOs. What the passing of this means is the legislation requires the Secretary of Defense and the Director of National Intelligence to, quote, take actions to address unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as UFOs, and report back to Congress the findings in annual and biannual briefings and reports, where then teams of officials and experts from the intelligence community would rapidly respond to military UFO sightings and conduct investigations through the recently passed legislation. Now, that may not seem like a big deal to some who have no faith in the government or the Pentagon, but this is actually a bigger monster because this is straight from the president, voted on by senators who refused to pass the bill unless it required this action on UFOs, wherein which when these UFO incidents occur, they are to report directly back to Congress the findings in an annual and biannual briefings and reports, as well as immediately sending teams of officials out to rapidly respond to the sighting and investigate, just like you would any other incident. So this is big news. Congress is now involved because, believe it or not, there are a ton of senators out there who have gone on record saying they want the truth, that the Pentagon and all of the other secretive people out there in these intelligence agencies are not going to hide the truth. They are being put on notice. So we will see what happens. The truth is in here. The X-Files are moving out of the basement. So we will see what happens, guys, but this is major news. And with Congress on our side and the president, we may one day soon finally start getting some truth. And that at the very least, we will be told that yes, the government finally admits that the alien phenomenon is real and that we are being visited from off-planet. So there it is, guys. Tell me what you think down below. Please head over and check out that film. It would mean a lot to me, and it would mean a lot for all of the major people who are a part of it, whose only purpose in the film was to give the public information that they had never heard or seen before. And there's some pretty cool stuff in it. So links down below, more videos to come, more UFO sightings. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.